Welcome back to Ed Apathetic Chapter 2. The sad tale of a man who only in the remaining last few days of his life has realized he's made choices that he now dies upon his knees when he once had a chance to fight standing on his feet. As Ed is finishing the last of his distasteful repast of dried crickets and mealy bug paste, his eyes roam about his tiny regime-issued apartment. In the corner is a cardboard structure that surrounds his sleeping pallet. As a useless eater of lowly social status and a mediocre social credit score, Ed's apartment is afforded only 1,000 watts of electricity, which he must juggle for light, cooking, and heating. Hot water is, of course, long since a thing of the past. Ed's mind drifts back to 2020. The great global scare had been unleashed, and the masses, terrorized and blinded by fear, had bought it. Shut everything down for 2 weeks to flatten the curve. The government began to issue mandates. We must remain locked down until a magic potion is created. At the thought of his then fiancée, Lynn, tears begin to course down Ed's now emancipated cheeks. Lynn, vivacious, bright, and beautiful, had seen through the scam. It's not a magic potion, Ed. It's a poison, she'd argued. New terminology had entered the public lexicon. Sudden adult death syndrome, cognitive dissonance. Heart attacks amongst athletes and youth were accepted as the new normal. And it was announced the magic potion was not a one-shot deal. A second, perhaps more, were needed. Things grew increasingly tense between the couple as 2001 passed. It's cognitive dissonance, Ed. People can't think straight when they're scared, Lynn would argue. You're not seeing. You refuse to see the bigger picture. You have a tinfoil hat. You're a conspiracy theory nut job, Ed had snapped back. People are losing their jobs and their businesses, Ed. These mandates are actually dictates. And so the subject matter and all related had become taboo to even mention between them. As the year progressed, Lynn joined the growing number of citizens' coalition groups. She attended rallies and protests and started her own YouTube channel. Ed, meanwhile, struggled to keep his faltering business afloat. The ridiculous mandates, supply chain issues, the insane carbon tax. 2021 passed with increasing friction between them. Ed's business problems escalated. He had to let staff go in an effort to keep the doors open. Lynn was terminated, 4 years of medical school and her career over. A blowout argument had ensued on Christmas Eve, culminating in Lynn storming out the door. Her parting words had been shouted. Evil triumphs when good men do nothing, Ed. What else she was shouting was lost behind the slammed door. Lynn wouldn't return until January 3rd.